I told everybody I've been greeting, I think I'm more nervous than my granddaughter is. I can tell you just a brief history, and maybe Heidi will tell you a lot more. We've known about Heidi for a long time, but it was 10 years ago on Father's Day that we met her for the first time. And we found out before we actually met her that she is quite an accomplished musician. And we were very happy about that. I'll let her tell you more about that, maybe. But anyway, she was adopted as a baby. She was given up for adoption because two young people had gotten together when they were 15 years old, and they were not able to take care of a baby. Obviously, they weren't married, and so she was a product of that gathering. But so it was our choice and the birth mother's choice to give her up for adoption, and it was probably the best thing that happened because she was raised by two wonderful parents who are here tonight, and I'm guessing Heidi may introduce them to you. But anyway, I didn't know, by the way, I didn't know what I was going to say when I got up here tonight, so I'm just talking on top of it. But anyway, we were very happy when they opened up their lives and their hearts to us and let us be a part of their lives. And so we are a part of their lives, and they are a part of our lives, which we are very happy for. And I don't remember if I'm saying the right thing. I think this is her maiden concert. Concert in front of, where it's actually a concert, not a senior recital or something like that. But she's done concerts in college and other things, but I think, Jake, is this right? Is this her maiden concert? He says yes. Jake is her husband, by the way. So anyway, I think she'll do a fabulous job tonight. I'm not worried about her at all. I'm more worried about me. Because after we got here and we were practicing a little bit this afternoon, she decided she wanted me to sing with her when we're going to do a hymn later, and you're all going to sing it too, so maybe you won't even have to worry about hearing me. But, so she talked me into staying up here and singing that hymn with her, and she's going to harmonize with me, so hey, I think it will. But anyway, Heidi is probably one of the best reasons I can think of why there should be less abortions and more adoptions, because she was raised by a wonderful family. And I think she's a wonderful, wonderful person, and I love her, and she's my granddaughter. So I'd like to introduce her right now. If you give a warm welcome to my granddaughter, Heidi.
I just told Dale that he already made me tear up a little bit backstage, so that's not a very good start for me. I'll be starting with one that Dale actually requested. It's one of my favorite ones to play. It's called the Warsaw Concerto. I did have to make a couple cuts, though, because in its original form it's 15 pages long, so I won't put you through that. Also, my wonderful, beloved piano teacher from high school, Joan Carter, would probably not like the fact that there's music up here, but it's a backup. Like Dale said, I don't want to flop and then never, ever want to perform again. So. All right, well, the next one that I'm going to do is from my very favorite era of music, which would be the Romantic era. For me, it's more fun than the classical era. It's just a lot more flashy and flowy, and it's by one of my very favorite composers, probably my favorite one, Chopin, even though I feel like I'm betraying Franz Liszt for saying that. Also a great one. So this is one that I did in high school with, again, my wonderful piano teacher, Joan Carter, and she probably wouldn't like how fast I'm going. That was one thing. She always made me practice slowly, but I'm just going to go for it because it's so much fun to play, and I don't think I had anything else to say about this one, and so I'm just going to go ahead and play. It's called Fantasy Impromptu by Chopin. by saying that as a teacher, I do not support cheating in any way, and I did not cheat in this class. But I need to tell you about a class that I took in college where I first heard this next one that I'm going to play. It was one of my absolute favorite classes in college, and it was with my awesome professor at Concordia College. And the class was all about piano repertoire, and for the test, he would play certain pieces that we were to have studied, and then we were supposed to write down what they were. Well, most of the pieces were in different keys, in certain keys, and I was blessed to be born with perfect pitch, which I think came from this side of the family. There was also another student in my class named Alex. I won't say any last names, but he also has perfect pitch. And we were in this class together, and come test time, all we would have to memorize was what key that piece was in. And once he hit play, we would write down, I mean, not together, we were, again, not cheating, but would write down the name of the piece. Well, soon, Dr. Hirschberger caught wind of this, figured out what we were doing, and he would start to crank the music so that the pitch would go higher or lower. But we still did okay in the class because we loved piano music. Anyway, this is one, it's called Romance, and it's by Schumann, another one from my favorite era, the Romantic era. And I was never one to get emotional with different music or different movies or anything like that. My son, however, is very emotional. But I remember as I was listening to the CD and studying for my class, hearing this one for the first time, and I remember sitting in my car and I just welled up and got emotional about a piece of music, which had never ever happened to me before. But the melody to this one is just so beautiful, I just could hardly stand it. And so after a couple of years after college, actually, I just kind of thought of this piece, and I had never played it before, but I found it on the internet, and I thought, I want to learn this piece so that I can play it whenever I want to. And even though it doesn't sound as technically as challenging as the other ones that I've been playing, it has 6 sharps, so that's a challenge in itself, and there's parts where there's double sharps and triple, I don't even know. But I stuck with it, and I'm like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to learn this one because it's one of my favorites. And so this is Romance by Schumann. break after that one. Well, we're going to switch gears a little bit. I'm going to pull out another instrument, my violin, and I'm going to play another one that I just think has just a beautiful melody, and I'm really excited to be playing it. Last year, a couple years ago, I played with a really good friend of mine in Iowa named Carrie, and she would play violin and I'd play piano and I would accompany her, and I was just like, in love with this piece that she played. And then I thought, you know, I do play violin too, so I guess I could learn this piece on my own and play it too. And so I did that, and it's just so much fun to play. I won't do it justice as much as Carrie would. She's absolutely amazing at violin, but I still wanted to give you guys a little bit of a variety instead of just one instrument. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab my violin, and Jason's helping us out up there on sound, so he's going to play an accompaniment that I recorded for myself. I think I have some control issues. I'm like, I have to accompany myself. I don't want a page turner. I can turn my pages. So I'm accompanying myself on this one and a couple other ones here today. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab my violin, and then we're going to hear Meditation by Massenet. It's French, I think. I'm a Spanish teacher. Say one more thing too quick before Jason hits play. Is before this whole day, I've been okay up till today, and then today I got really nervous. But then I had a realization as I was talking to my husband in the car that that I don't have a reason to be nervous because tonight's not about me. Tonight is about just being a vessel and kind of a voice for babies who don't have a voice to be heard, and just an example of what these babies can turn into someday, and that they will have something to offer too. And so realizing that I'm just here to kind of shine God's light a little bit and just kind of to entertain you guys with music, and I'm having fun too, made me realize I don't need to be nervous. However, physiologically speaking, whenever I play violin in front of people, I tend to shake a little bit. So if there's some shaking, just excuse that. But I hope that you enjoy it. And so we're going to start the violin portion with Meditation by Massenet. instrument goes by another name, and that name is the fiddle. So we're going to throw all of that technique out the window and do a little fiddle piece called Orange Blossom Special. I used to love playing this one with our family and friends around the lake at the cabin, around the campfire, and they would push me to go faster and faster and faster until my arm was about to fall off. Well, today it's on me since I recorded the accompaniment, pushing myself to go faster and faster, so you'll hear the verse and chorus, or whatever it is, 3 times through, each one being a little bit faster. And then I'll play a nice calm one on the piano after that, because I literally have to catch my breath, my pulse goes up, I'm out of breath. It's like a better workout than running, and I hate running, so if I can just play Orange Blossom Special every day in the morning, start the day off right, and get my cardio in. So I hope that you enjoy this one. It's really fun. Honestly, this is probably the one that I'm most excited about playing tonight, which I know is really silly, but playing fiddle is really, really fun. And the first time I ever heard this one was, I believe, the Duttons in Branson, right? Yeah, when they all played that together, and so I just I want to learn that. That looks like a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy Orange Blossom Special. Slightly different stance for fiddle playing. Okay. again, as a breather, was also a request by Mr. Dale Boyer himself, and this one is As the Deer. And I remember hearing this one, I believe it's like a 90s worship song, and I remember hearing that when I was a kid in the 90s, and I always thought it was such a pretty piece, so when Dale was like, hey, how about As the Deer? I said, yes, that is a great idea. So how about while I get a drink of water, if you guys just want to turn and say hi to the person next to you, and how you either know me, or how you maybe know Dale, or why you're here. As I say in Spanish class, atención, por favor. I have to do that all day, every day. So, all right. Now I'll be playing As the Deer. So this one goes out to Dale. enough to bring that next year. Next time we do this, I'll bring a flute. And maybe Betty will join me. And Jessica. Flute trio? So this next instrument that I'm going to bring out is definitely not one of my most proficient instruments, but I do enjoy playing it. And so this one's more about the thought that counts. So if any of you knew my birth father, Chris, you know that he was a very talented musician. I know that because I've gotten to hear recordings of him play, which are unbelievable, like what I do on piano, but way better on guitar. Super fast, crazy, just really impressive stuff. And so I love listening to those recordings. And his main instrument, I do believe, was guitar, and was just a phenomenal guitar player. And when I met the Boyens 10 years ago, they gave me 2 really special gifts, one of them being the most beautiful piano that I have in my house that I used to prepare for this concert for you guys, that he was working on restoring, and then that Dale finished restoring. It's just absolutely beautiful. And then the other gift was Chris's guitar, his classical guitar, that they then gave to me as well. And it's just such a beautiful guitar that even subpar playing just sounds prettier because the tone of it is so pretty. And so I prepared today to play the guitar for you guys because I wanted to bring that guitar out here on stage. And it's kind of a combination of 2 pieces. One of them is just literally one of the 2 pieces that I know, and so I thought I'd include it to add a little bit of bulk to this piece. It's called Classical Gas, and it's just a really pretty piece. The other one, though, kind of has a special story behind it. I remember one time, probably close to 10 years ago, being at Dan and Betty's house, and they played a video of Chris playing El Shaddai on the guitar. I believe someone was singing with him, and that was literally the only time I've ever heard El Shaddai. And I just thought it was really, really pretty, so I was watching it, and then I kind of like went home and picked up the guitar, and it was like this weird like out-of-body experience where the notes kind of just came to me, because I'm not a guitar player, and it was just really special, and I wanted to include that as well. So it's a combination of El Shaddai and Classical Gas, and again, yeah, it's funny. It's not my most proficient instrument, but I really just wanted to do something special for Dale and Betty because they mean a lot to me. And it's been so awesome getting to know them over the past 10 years. And so I think Jake is going to bring the guitar up to me now. And again, I prepared an accompaniment for myself. So if nothing else, just listen to the piano that you hear above. And if you listen really closely, you might be able to hear the melody to El Shaddai in there as well. But there's a lot going on, and hopefully you enjoy it. me to do that. It's just really fun to play, and I worked really hard for you guys, and so, Jake, are you coming to take this away from me? We're going to go back to my primary instrument, which of course is piano. Thank you, hon. Speaking of that guy, this one, a little backstory which includes him a little bit. So this one is called Dove Chocolate, and it's one that I wrote on piano, partially because my mom loves dark chocolate, Dove chocolate, so that's part of why it's named that. But anyway, on orchestra tour at Concordia, this would have been like 8 years ago. We were stopped at a church for dinner, and I was in the sanctuary of that church playing this piece that I had just written. And all of a sudden, this guy comes waltzing in and sits down next to me and was like, after I was done, "You need to be doing this with your life." So ever since that point, he's been the most supportive person ever of me playing music and writing music and composing, and always trying to work on my confidence in music. And so he's always been just the biggest supporter, and so I can't thank him enough for that. So I just think of him when I play this, I just think of that moment that he came in and just kind of gave me that boost of confidence after hearing this piece. And so this is called Dove Chocolate. And as far as like a composition class would be concerned, it probably wouldn't get a very good grade. It's kind of random. It's like all these different pieces pieced together with really weird transitions, but it's really fun to play, and I think it's kind of fun to listen to. And so I'm here to entertain you guys, so don't give it a grade in the composition class, but I hope you enjoy it. It's fun, and so this is Dove Chocolate. thanks again to Jake for supporting me and encouraging me to play that one tonight. So speaking of Jake, he should be coming up here now. If I have the order right. There it is. So not only has Jake just been my biggest supporter with music, but just in life in general. We've been married 6 years now, is that right?
Sure.
Math. I'm not a math teacher. So 6 years now. And we've wanted to be parents for about 4 of those years. And we do have an amazing little boy, Oliver, that you heard earlier, his singing debut. And he's 2, and he's just wonderful. We've also had our fair share of losses as well, 4 to be exact. And so Jake has always been there for me in the good times and the bad times. And every time that we've experienced a loss together, we've become closer together in our marriage and closer to God in our marriage. And it's always turned out to be a blessing in disguise. And it's hard to be bitter when I look at Oliver's face and just what a little miracle he is. And so I know from both ends of things how precious life is and how precious children are. And I'm just so grateful to God for Oliver, and also for Jake, and for being there for me in the hard times. And this next one that we're going to sing, got me through so many hard times over the past few years. It's called Worn by 10th Avenue North. And you know how God always tends to put the right song on the radio at the right time? Well, this is one that it must have been really popular around that time or something, because it was always on the radio when I needed it to be, and I just distinctly remember times in my car just breaking down because the song would turn on right when I needed it. And so we just love this one, and we sung it together for a few years now, and I talked Jake into joining me up here, just like I talked Dale into joining me later. I'm good at doing that. So Betty will get you next time on the flute. Here is Worn by 10th Avenue North, featuring Jake Musinski. Yes, I do.
So that should make it easy. So when my voice sounds terrible, just blame that story.
I mentioned, there's a happy ending because Oliver, the more and more that we go through, the more I've just opened my eyes that Oliver is just such a miracle. Like even more than when he was born, he's just such a little miracle. Even though his temper tantrums at this age are horrible, he's also just so amazing. It's so fun watching him learn. As I mentioned, he's 2. He just turned 2 in April. So 2 years ago, I wrote this next one that's called Oliver's Lullaby. And he was a very challenging baby at first because he was just colicky, which basically just means your baby cries for no reason. And so Jake finally realized what his parents had to go through because he was colicky as well. So for the first about 3.5 months of his life, I played this piece every single night on our beautiful piano. And we'd swaddle Oliver up, and Jake would do like the football hold, and he'd rock him, and I think partway into verse 2, Oliver would be sound asleep, and then we would go lay him down. And so this is just a really special piece to me because it's part of Oliver's growing up, and he's just so special to me. I'll let you guys meet him afterwards out. There's going to be refreshments and all that, so we'll let you meet him afterwards. Right now he's playing with my cousin, not his, because he's second cousin, with my cousin Miles and Emma. So this one is Oliver's Lullaby. Join in with us and sing one of my favorite hymns. This hymn I remember singing when I was on tour with the Continentals. I'm just actually really curious. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of the Continentals before. Okay, good. We do have actually a few people. Usually there's no hands. So they actually, unfortunately, have disbanded in the U.S. because it got too expensive with like gas prices and the buses and everything like that. But I know they're still running in other countries, such as Costa Rica, which is really tempting to me because we just went on a vacation to Costa Rica and it's amazing and beautiful. But anyway, I did the Continentals for 5 summers in a row, which was just like a life-changing experience for me. Every summer, just like growing and growing in my faith. It was really, really awesome. But anyway, I remember doing this hymn, and it just kind of stood out to me as one of my favorites. And so it's Be Thou My Vision, a traditional Irish hymn. And as mentioned before, I talked Dale into coming up and singing with me. But I also would love for all of you to join with us and sing as well. The words are going to be up on the screen, so no need to get out the hymnal or anything. But Dale and I need to have one. So words are up on the screen for you guys, and
I just have to find the right page, okay? It's 412, but I just have to find it. Yeah. Is this little? There we are, I think. All right, let's all stand and join together in singing this hymn, Be Thou My Vision. Words will be on the screen.
As I'm playing, my mind just like runs all over the place while I play, which is good because if I start thinking about what I'm doing, I will start to mess up. But I make mistakes and I know it, it's okay. So as I was playing, I'm thinking, do I have any gaps that I need to fill in my story of adoption and everything? So since this is the last chance I'll have you as a captive audience in front of this microphone, that's scary, right? I figured I would just say a few more things before I play my last piece. So as Dale mentioned, I was adopted. I was 10 days old, just a little tiny baby, and my birth mom chose as Dale mentioned again, an amazing family. In fact, I think my dad's actually playing grandpa right now. Is that true? Oh, we don't know where he is. In the nursery? Yeah. Anyway, they're just an awesome family, and I have a big brother as well, who's also adopted. So that's always just been a big thing to me is adoption. And God works in funny ways, I feel. We found out after the fact that the reason that my birth mom chose my family was because she felt comfort as a 15, 16-year-old girl. She felt comfort in a picture that was in like the portfolio of my brother on a couch. And she had the same couch growing up, and that gave her comfort. And she has 3 big brothers, and so she wanted me to have a big brother as well. And when we found that out, my mom said it wasn't even their couch, it was her good friend's couch. She said she called her good friend right away and thanked her for her couch. And so I've also gotten to know my birth mom side of the family as well over the past 10 years, ever since I graduated high school, and that's been really great as well. Tons and tons of cousins on that side, but fun fact, she is also adopted, so the story gets more complex. And so technically, although I do consider them my cousins, and I have a few cousins I've grown up with too, technically my only birth cousins are little Miles and Emma, so we are 25 years apart, but that's okay. Oliver loves playing with them, and so it's really fun. And I think that was mostly the part of the story I wanted to fill in. And so the last piece that I'm playing, as they always say, you save the best for last, so I saved my absolute favorite to play, and it's actually been my favorite to play since 8th grade. Don't worry, it's not like chopsticks or anything. But my piano teacher entrusted me with this piece in 8th grade, which I find kind of crazy, but like I said, she's amazing, and her mother apparently would play this piece to her every single night before bed, which I've always found a little odd because, as you'll soon hear, it's not exactly like a lullaby. But so this piece was always so special to Mrs. Carner, and I just love that she allowed me to play it too. And I've been playing it ever since, and so it's always been really special to me as well. And this one is called Andante and Rondo Capriccioso. It's by Mendelssohn, so I feel like I'm kind of going full circle back to the beginning with the Romantic era, my favorite, because it's just so much fun to play. And if I forgot to say anything, well, maybe my mind will be racing during this one and I'll remember for the end. So this is the last one by Mendelssohn. I told you that I'd be thinking while I played, and I thought of it within probably the first 3 measures, and it's a big one, so and that's one I wanted to make, and then I promise I'll let you go, is that, of course, the kind of underlying theme for this concert is the miracle of life, and I'm very clearly passionate about the gift of life, and as Dale mentioned, about fewer abortions and more adoptions, and just giving life to these unborn babies. And so after this, I think back there's a basket on a table where you can put a donation to Metro Women's Center. It's in the cities, in Crystal specifically. And I was just searching for something like that to donate the free will offering to something that I felt really passionately about. So I found them on the internet, and I had looked at a couple different places, and when I read their mission statement, I just knew that this was the place that I wanted to donate. Any kind of money that we get today, I wanted to donate there because I just feel so passionately about their mission. On the table, there's a poster that the director sent to me to print for you guys, just to explain kind of what they do. And the one number that stood out to me was just in the last year alone, there were 12 babies that were saved from abortion. And that just, to me, is just huge. Like, there are 12 babies who, in the future, are just going to have their story to share. And I just think that's so amazing, and just the work that they do there. And we actually do have a couple of representatives who are here who came to support the concert. And can you remind me of your names? Is it Dave and Jackie? All right, wonderful. So thank you guys so much for coming, too. So again, on your way out, you can find that basket if you would like to give a donation to that. And we also do have some refreshments, and I'm just so humbled by the people who put some work into tonight, and there were a lot of different people, I think, who helped out with the refreshments and with everything. And thank you to Jason also up in the sound booth. Thank you. And also we have a special guest running up to the stage. Again, thank you so much for being here to support. Again, I just hit me that this just is not about me at all. It's about something so much greater, and there's just, what is that goldfish? Here's an example of just the miracle of life right here. We are so blessed to have Oliver. And again, just thank you for being here. Go enjoy some refreshments, and